The things that's coming to mind for me is that you are right. You're right every time. You're right in the right place at the right time, getting the right lesson. So I want to encourage you to eliminate the question of, am I right, as in opposite of wrong?
So I'm learning to not be so indulgent in the idea of money, but also be joyous that I have the privilege of being able to sit with how to better myself with money.
So much love and so much realness in this space. I just thank you guys for being honest with yourselves and then also honest with everyone here, because it's not easy to kind of come forward with our relationship about money, because it is a very private relationship that we share with ourselves. Just as you said, Steph, you know, we have this constant internal dialogue that we don't necessarily address until it's time to address it. And this is definitely the time to address it. So.
Yeah, I love this poem. I wanna listen to it more often, like daily for the next month. I want to make it like that, because she's really about transforming the neural pathway.
Welcome, guys. And just like she said, thank you for joining us in our space today. I'm so grateful to have each and every one of you here. I cannot wait to see what comes out of tonight, because every time this space is open and the love is just running through the space, there's just so much that comes out of it.
We're going to take a few breaths in together and out. The whole time, I just want you to sort of take in whatever it is that you think you need right now, and let out whatever you don't. Well, hello, beautiful family.
Hi, everyone. We're so happy that we're all here together tonight. And we want to start off this conversation with the question, what is a word that comes to mind when you think of money? For example, when I think of money, the word that just came out was stress. So that tells you where I'm at with my relationship with money. But please feel free to share what thoughts are coming up for you.
My first response was a guttural So if could be a word, or the sound, the onomatopoeia, okay, it's just the heaviness of it all. The first thing was so I think that expression was that for me. Not a word, but a feeling.
I would have to say that the first word, even though the feeling came over me, the first word that popped into my head was sacred. And that's like, says a lot, because that feeling of was there, but the words that popped into my head was sacred.
Yeah, I feel the same way as far as like, it's just more of a feeling, like, and it's like a feeling of nothingness kind of like, and then I immediately thought green.
The first word that actually popped in my mind was freedom. That was actually like and it was interesting because the feeling I felt was like that, and it was light, and that was interesting because though that didn't come out of my mouth or in my spirit in round one when we did this a few months ago, so that was really interesting. And then when I went into like my intellectualizing of it, I thought control, and then I knew instantly that had a lot to do with like a current part of my world right now that I'm navigating. And I was like, oh, that's so interesting that those were the two.
There was a feeling, there was like a weight that dropped, but then the word that came was more.
It's kind of love-hate, but right now I feel neutral towards money.
I'm kind of like Marisdi. I had the and then it was just the only word that popped up was relief.
We're going to listen to the song by Tony Jones called Currency. We're going to watch a beautiful video. Steph is going to introduce the video and she's going to play the video. And right now we're just going to watch the video. And then as we do our 5-minute prompt in a few, we're going to also play a video with a slideshow of the whole poem broken down into different slides so that you can see the words more clearly and be able to interact with the text a little differently than just watching it in the lyric video that Steph is going to be showing now.
So now we're going to transition to the writing portion of tonight. And it's one of our favorite things to do, which is the 5-minute prompt. And so the only directions for the 5-minute prompt is to respond to tonight's text in any of these 3 ways or any way that feels right for you. So the first way is to free respond to any of the lines that you experience visually. The second one is to do a found poem. And when Steph puts the text on the screen, you have an opportunity to see the words. And with found poetry, you just pull words and curate them in a new way for new meaning. And then the last one is just free response. So whatever comes up for you, whether it's questions or just sentences, a paragraph, it doesn't have to be poetry. So it just whatever you respond naturally to after experiencing and thinking about your relationship with money.
Of stranding together our favorite lines. I wasn't able to copy it from the chat, so it's a little clunky, but could we just scroll back up and then you could start at, I believe it was Marisdi had that first line. She had said immeasurable blessings, I believe, and just take us through what we dropped in the chat. And that's our collective strand poem.
But Marisdi opened up with immeasurable blessings, infinite value, vibrational drip. I am prioritizing opulence as open to abundance. Yeah, it's nice to think money is a bad thing, but money is just a means to an end. Infinite value, vibrational drip. I accept this invitation to be free. I accept this invitation to be free. I get paid to be me. There's no top or finish line. I am my own currency. I am bad at investing in myself, but it's time to build generational wealth. So you can sit with it.
Yes, I'm mute. Yes. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes.
Y'all did that. We did that. It'll go.
Share what came up. Does anybody want to talk about or share what came up for them during the 5-minute prompt or even response to the currency video, and what's resonated with you?
So just for the sake of acknowledging the beautiful intergenerational exchange and chat that's going on, I just dropped my age over in the sidebar and just said, can you drop it your age on the spectrum, just so we get an idea of like, we're doing this together, and wow, and the power of the intergenerational part of it. And I put age in quotations because we know there's the linear, the how long we've been here, and then the spirit, and it intertwines, and we all are learning from one another. But it blows my mind every time. It's beautiful. We got 48, 25, 42, 64, 37, 40 women being in the space together, creating this sacredness and doing this kind of work together in love. It always just, I'm grateful. and I'm blown away by what happens in our short time together here.
It's the immeasurable part for me. Like, you know, currencies. I basically felt like she was saying it's like what you make of it. And honestly, I feel like I gotta sit down with that video again, because she was saying a lot of stuff, and I'm just like, wow, because I've been feeling like a lot of confusion around money, especially because I'm starting to plan for like my future and like doing things like with my money, like as far as like paying for like college, car, apartment, things of that nature, and just like I gotta plan around it, I gotta use it, and overall, like what's the end goal? And when she was just like, there's no top, there's no finish line, there's just you, like you should come first before the money. I don't know, like I felt a lot of things when she was spitting. I'm just like, I really got to sit with it.
It's a lot. She definitely brings up a whole lot, so I think I too need to sit with it and actually maybe even incorporate it into my morning, some parts of it as things to remind myself to kind of reprogram some of the things that are in there. Because as much as the scarcity, you know, a lot of it isn't what it used to be, but it isn't what it can be. So I think I'm definitely with you on that ambiguous gray space. And I'm like, you know, at least when I was growing up, I would think part of generationally, it was just like, you should have this, this, and this. And, you know, I'm like, there's so many things that I don't have as yet, but I have the main things I need. You know what I mean? So just trying to figure those things out. So yeah.
I think the main thing that came up for me when listening to this again was that you kind of have to find joy in money, because money is only a tool. And we've said this many times. I've been told this many times, money is only there as an object for a means to an end, right? So find joy in the things that you have the money for at the moment, you know, like, and I'm learning to just find happiness in the hardship of reprogramming your mind around money, because there is enough money out here for everybody. Money is expansive, you know, and it has its own mind, it has its own way of thinking, it has its own system in this world, you know. So us finding our own version of what makes us happy, but not only happy, fulfilled and peaceful on the inside, and being able to, I think that was what I got from her video, mainly being fulfilled so that it flows no matter, even if you're in a quote unquote deficit, there's always abundance happening. There's always something flowing from somewhere. There's always this connection you have to money because you have a connection to higher self.
I think what came up for me, I think in the song she said something about enjoyment, and I think that at least for all of my life, very similarly to my other abandonment issues, like I felt like I had to work and save. Like I'm a big saver, and I think part of what was my motivation for saving is because it is this fear that I'm gonna run out or I'm not gonna have enough money when I need to do something. And so now I have transitioned into a spiritual space and in a phase of life where I just want to be in the present. I mean, yeah, it's a future and I'm planning for my future and I have that in the backdrop of my mind, but I'm in the moment and enjoying my life with the people I'm presently with and spending my money in a way that serves us, knowing deeply that I'm going to always have enough. And I think that that is where my journey has transitioned, because as I release the fear of abandonment, it just kind of opens up the freedom and the flow that she's talking about, because it didn't always feel like flow. It felt like there was a glass ceiling on the money. And the reality is that it's always money, like it's energy, is always out there. But if you walk around with a scarcity mentality, then you'll always be scraping the bottom, and it affects everything you attract, including your relationships, your relationship with yourself, and your relationship with money. So
Yeah, these sharings are so beautiful. I feel like I have been everywhere. Everyone has everywhere. I've been there. Oh yeah, I've been there too. I think that this is the first year really that I am seeing the flow, and I'm in my 6th decade. So I'm saying this to say, it's true, I am. 6 plus 4. Saying this to say, it's been a journey. It's all good. And I'm also saying this to say that the more I drop into myself, she said, I get paid to be myself. The more I put the energy into that, the higher my vibration is. And then I am attracting not just the money, but the opportunity, because sometimes it's not the money, but it is what the money can buy or represents. It's the wealth, it's wealth, right? So I feel like when one of my favorite lines was about the opulence, and she talked about opulence and luxury. Like, yeah, why not? You know, and what I have caught myself doing, my husband, wanted to just do, I'm only flying first class from now on. And I'm like, are you serious? What? And what I noticed is, how am I in the face of the up level? Am I really present to that and open, or do I hold back? Ugh. So so it's just what you said, Cherie. It's mindful, it's being present to what is so. Does that match who I want to be? And if it doesn't, then I gently and lovingly change. No being hard on myself. So
I feel a lot like Sister Goddess Janae, because there was a lot of yes and in my spirit, like each time, starting with where Michelle was talking about. I remember that yes and for me, it's not like linear at all. There's like this cycling in and out, and it's layers to it. And I kept thinking, and perhaps it's part of the school teacher in me, like the tests that then come up, the lesson, and then like, did you really get that lesson? Kind of, sort of, but I missed this part. I feel like that has been like my maturity with the relationship. And then listening to Cherie and the spiritual part of that and that alignment. And this year has been a very intentional tapping back into what is spirituality for myself, and then what is faith. And then they're not separate, and they're not separate with money. They're not separate with relationships on any of the levels, like we were talking about in our lineage. Like, that was real for all of us. It was not just the exercises we were doing in the room. It was the exercise and practice in our lives being exposed to one another, right? And so I feel like the most interesting thing right now, when I thought about what came up at the beginning of the conversation, when we said what words are coming up, freedom and control, and then I referenced like the current space I'm going through, I was like, well, that makes sense, because there's this intentionality about the alignment. And then like Janae said, assessing basically like, am I aligned with this place that I am trying to be, and then the gentle, loving redirection if not. So I find myself still practicing the faith, and part of the practicing of the faith is then getting the test where it's like, are you there with that faith? And I'm in that place right now. So I'm having a tug of war with those scripts, those narratives that come in and out of me that are in lack, are scarcity, are saying I'm bad with money, and things like that. And it's coming up not only in my head, but in the people around me. So it's coming up, and then it's like, Spirit, are you like, is this real? Is this not? Where are you with your programming? Where are you with your faith? Where are you with your alignment? Where are you vibrating right now? And so I guess the hard time right now, I'm actually appreciating, because I'm seeing that I'm not in that space, and it had to be shown to me almost in an abusive sort of way for me to be like, yeah, but no, because I'm getting it. And this is a part of that loop in the maturity. So yeah.
Sister Goddess Janae and Sister Goddess Stephanie. Steph, I always learn stuff from you. I'm always learning from you. I'm always growing with you. You inspire me to continue this fight when I want to give up. And there's plenty of times where I've wanted to give up, especially around money. So when you talked so candidly about being in and out of those cycles and being tested with your faith, I find that to be a very true thing with my life. And God is very good at showing me, or divine or higher power is very good at showing me, you're talking the talk, but are you walking the walk? And I'm good at talking the talk, and I have faith in myself to be able to walk the walk. But I'm learning that to be in a true alignment with that walk, I have to be alignment with what Spirit is telling me, you know? And I'm learning that more and more. And it's the everyday, it's the sitting in it, it's the, how do I get this done? It's the, oh my God, will I make it? It's the, I feel crazy right now. How is this even right? Is this right? Am I right? This is the question. This is the 1,000 questions that run through my head every day, every minute of every day. And the self-doubt that comes with those questions because of the cycles of doubt that come through as I grow in my healing journey. But then I meet beautiful people like you, all of you. And it reminds me to keep that faith in myself and to keep the faith around me, because look at this, like this is just unmatched for me. And I'm just grateful every single time. And Cherie, you have this beautiful essence about you that pushes you to learn. And you remind me, when you talk about your journey, it reminds me of how Steph talks to me about my journey and pushes me to challenge myself about what I'm thinking about myself and where I'm at right at this current moment. And without that challenging, without that pushing, without that love, without that extra hug. And I know it's been a long time since I've hugged you, Steph, but I always feel the warmth from your heart in everything you say to me. And so after all of those things come together, I just can't sit here and be anything but grateful. And then on top of being grateful, I can't sit here and be anything but truthful to myself and faithful, and have so much faith in everything that is coming of this and has already come of this.
You are right. You're right every time. You're right in the right place at the right time, getting the right lesson. So I want to encourage you to eliminate the question of, am I right, as in opposite of wrong? You feel me, like that? Because how could you be anything but right if to generate this moment? I feel like I just won the lottery, man. I'm like, oh my God, look what I created. I don't know. So look what we created. We are right every time, even when it appears that a mistake has been made, because in that mistake, there is something to be learned. And then I get to go, oh, I see. Okay. Pivot, course correction. Oh, that part. So you are right all the time.
I love that. There's a thing that it came up at work about a week and a half ago. Something had went down. Like a lot of things have been going down. The energy is interesting. So there have been some brawls and some conflict and some just trying to figure out how to deal with things. And one of the things that we were the adults were in the office talking, and I was like, And I was like, but we winning or we learning? So I guess we always winning. But that same idea is like, it's not a win and a lose or a loss, it's a win and a learn. And that's that on that. And so when you said that, in my spirit, everything went yes, and they went clear across my arms. Like, yeah, yes. Winning or learning. So winning and winning, really always.
I needed to hear that. So much doubt, like you don't understand, like, well, let me not say you don't understand, but well, I feel like generally, like, we don't understand how much doubt is like stress, because every step of the way, there's just like, is this right? Is this right? Is this right? Am I going the right way? Should I go over here? Should I pivot over here? Damn, I said I was going to do this, and then I did this, and then, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, so when you said that, like, you right, and then just like being here, being in the space, and like noticing, it's hard to notice that when you are in the right spaces because of the doubt, because like right then you go back to questioning, and it's hard to take in, what's given to you, because you are constantly, I'm constantly learning, I'm constantly growing, and I just want to give myself like a pat on the back, like you here, you're in here, you're doing it, and like just to hear you say that, and like with like conviction, like belief behind it. I think that's also what I've been lacking in my practice, is like I am doing the steps, but like I don't believe it, and you can't trick the universe. Like the universe over here, like, you sending mixed signals, Michelle, what's going on? What do you want? And yeah, so I'm just grateful for that message.
I appreciate this. My mama smiling, my grandma, my great grandma, all of them. I feel them all. They're like, yeah, this is what we were asking for. Thank you.
You guys got my heart tingling.
Yeah. Gosh. All right. So with all that energy, just let it flow through, around, in you. Take some moments again to get back in that body and in the spirit of what did you say, Janae? The reprogramming of our neuropsychological biology. Is that what we said?
Yeah, you're reprogramming your neural pathways.
Our neural pathways.
You're building new neurons, and they're firing together, and they wire together, and they that's what makes our experience. So it's what we think, what we do, and what we pay attention to consistently. And she used that word in her poem.
What we think, what we do, and what we pay attention to consistently.
Yes, that is what makes the fabric of your brain, and that is what creates your experience. So if you're having like a check-in, you could just say, well, what have I been thinking? What have I been doing? Do I want to do something different? Yeah, let me build a new neural pathway. Let me build some new muscles over here. Yeah.
So in the spirit of building these pathways to the experiences that we truly desire and that are in alignment with our highest inside, outside alignment. Just let's lovingly take in a breath. Release it softly. And one more together. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Michelle, we'll see you at the next meeting. I'll send you the invitation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Janae, always the right time. I love you. Good night, y'all. See my girls next week.
Good night.
So I'm Stephanie. I am connected to each one of the beautiful, beautiful humans, beautiful queens in this room, in some amazing ways. Like I'm looking in this space and I'm like, wow, I get to be connected to each and every one of you in a very special way. Janae, I'm so happy to have you in here. It's been so long. I think I want to pass it to you if that's okay, as like a person that hasn't been in the room, but I love you and I appreciate all the work you do, all the healing, and it is so real and it's obvious. And I haven't been in your presence in what, 2 years, like physical presence. Go girl. So I'm gonna pass it to sis.
Thank you. Good evening, beautiful queens, empresses. I'm Janae Johnson, and I hail from New York, but I live in Oakland, California. I am an innovator in the mindfulness space, founder of the Right Within Experience, which will launch in 2022. It is a mindfulness program for people of African ancestry for the reclamation of humanity, joy, and well-being. These are the things that are eroded through our chronic experience with racism. And we are going to be exploring the neurobiology of liberation and rewriting the narrative around who we are and where we started on the human timeline. And in that way, offering mindful practices, some heart math work. And by day, I'm an innovator in the public health space in San Francisco, bringing public mindfulness programs actually to our trauma work. But Steph came out, woohoo, when I was directing the Black Infant Health Program, Black Maternal Health, and we were hosting the iconic Angela Davis, and so she came out to with a colleague. I love her. Well, y'all know who she is, right?
Oh yeah,
Sherry Goddess. I haven't seen you since 2016. How are you, beautiful, and your beautiful family and your gorgeous son? So that's what I'm up to here. I'm married. I have a young adult son, and I am looking to complete my work in public health for the next year and a half, and just dedicate this to my mindfulness work. And my husband has a mental health practice, thriving mental health practice with interns and other practitioners. And we're building NTU Wellness Center. NTU is a Niger Bantu Congo word that means essence, like soul, like spirit, like you would say chi. So it was like NTU. So doing that, and I really want to do a little bit of nothing, but yeah.
Thank you. Hi everyone. Marisol. I use she, her, they, them.
Yes, I am Michelle, and I kind of lit up when you said public health because I'm planning to go to back to college for public health.
Hi everybody, I'm Naya. Naya is a preferred way to say my name. Well, I introduce myself as Nia, so don't even trip, girl. It's not you. But hello everybody, I'm Naya. My pronouns are she, her, they, them as well. I am kind of like in this weird place right now in my life where I am so grateful to have all these different beautiful women in front of me with all these different life experiences, and I am taking it all in 1 minute at a time. I think it's really amazing and powerful that I even get to be in this space with all of you beautiful women. So I'm just taking it all in, and I'm extremely grateful.
But I'm Tracy. I'm Stephanie's cousin. I feel like big sister, auntie, mama to a lot of the young women in this space that I have since I've been out here in Jersey with Stephanie. I have had the most amazing pleasure to interact and get to know on a personal level. All you women in this space that create this space for us, it crosses over generations, it crosses over race, color, creed. It is something that is so powerful. And I know I'm supposed to be introducing myself, but I just want to take a moment to really thank you all, because you young ladies really, I don't think, really understand the magnitude of the effects in a positive way that you have, especially on our younger sisters. So thank you.
So I'm Marizdi, just Marizdi. And I go by she and her. They, them, like, yeah. So
And I am her, I am she, and I am honored, as Steph is, to have Sister Goddess Janae in this space. She's my personal celebrity. So I'm so happy that she's here to join us tonight for today's last brief session of October.
Hi everyone. Marisol invited me. My name is Latasha. She's invited me a few times, so I finally got a chance to make it on. Maybe next time I'll be on camera.
My mama smiling, my grandma, my great grandma, all of them. I feel them all. They're like, yeah, this is what we were asking for. Thank you.
You guys got my heart tingling.
Yeah. Gosh. All right. So with all that energy, just let it flow through, around, in you. Take some moments again to get back in that body and in the spirit of what did you say, Janae? The reprogramming of our neuropsychological biology. Is that what we said?
Yeah, you're reprogramming your neural pathways.
Our neural pathways.
You're building new neurons, and they're firing together, and they wire together, and that's what makes our experience. So it's what we think, what we do, and what we pay attention to consistently. And she used that word in her poem.
What we think, what we do, and what we pay attention to consistently.
Yes, that is what makes the fabric of your brain, and that is what creates your experience.
I want to just thank all of you.
I just want to thank you all so much for your warm welcome, and I know I'm in the right place at the right time. I know I'm right. Huh, Nia? Is that how you say your name?
Naya.
Right. We know we're right, Naya. Huh, Naya?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I do. I know I'm in the right space with the right people. I know I'm in the right time. What'd you say? You are right. You're absolutely right. I'm right.
I appreciate this.
And thank you guys. Just thank you.